Parents, we wish to advise that because of possible harmful elements, certain portions of the following program may not be suitable for young children.
So, in our ever-enduring quest for so bad they're good movies, this one is conflicting. Is the movie so bad it's good? Or is it actually good in some ways, but executed worse than the assassination of JFK? You tell us.
This is...
Title card. Title card. Just imagine jazz hands. This movie is... You fuck. This movie is one of those diamonds in a rough kind of films. It's definitely not so bad it's good, but it is a movie that's, like, occasionally pretty solid. So it does have its dog shit moments, and it kind of makes you conflicted on the whole thing.
Yeah, so the movie opens with, we will call them nazies for YouTube.
Bush is a nazi.
And this crowd for scale, followed by this Pope-looking guy. He doesn't have the hat, but he's either a Klansman or a Pope. We'll call him a Plope. A Plope.
Oh, great American multitude, and sports fans everywhere.
Okay.
Today we inaugurate...
He describes the death race to hype up the crowd, and
3 days hence,
it's interesting.
American champion will be crowned for all the world to behold, in awe, in respect, in fear.
Yeah, I really love how he just kind of puts an emphasis on the word fear. The whole, like, and fear.
And yeah.
I mean, once you watch the movie, you understand why he does it, but it's just so comical because it's like, you have no context for what the race is, so why should people be going, and fear?
All right. This is Junior Bruce, your buddy and mine. And I'll be giving you the blow-by-blow, play-by-play.
Okay, so this leads us to the introduction for the drivers.
So the first introduction is for Hornball Girl Janie.
Queen of the road at the wheel of that mean old ornery stud bull.
She just keeps being a horn dog the entire movie.
This year.
My fans can wish me all the luck they want. My luck with my lovers gets any better, I'll miss the race completely. Isn't that right, Pete?
She's a forgettable character.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next up is the first scene that introduces the real main character of the movie.
The greatest racer of all time and a very dear friend of mine.
This guy named Frankenstein. And it's just...
How is that not copyrighted?
Yes,
I don't
in
know.
Do they have to buy the
He will be coming
copyright?
through the
You'd think,
doors.
but...
Who fucking
1975, who gave a fuck?
Oh.
Anyway,
There is no cause for alarm.
it's just an awkward and hilarious introduction.
Suspended animation in order to facilitate the healing of his recent limb transplants. He should be coming around any moment now.
Because they don't show his face, but for some reason they're asking about foreign affairs and the president like he's some fucking ambassador for some reason.
How are things abroad?
How is Mr. President? Is he still in Moscow?
Mr. President is in his...
And the best part is...
He loves everybody. He
And
loves
they
everybody.
just immediately...
And everybody loves him.
So, yeah. After that, we're introduced to this Nazi couple.
I'm from Milwaukee, and her lovable Nazi navigator.
You know, they have some banter with Horny Jane.
Today, California.
Tomorrow, the world.
Hiya, Herman. I hope your buzz bomb has a little more juice in its warhead this year.
They have a few witty lines.
Whoever named your car the Bull was only half right.
Yeah, so if you haven't picked up on it yet, each car has two members, and one is the navigator. So they cut to the scene with Frankenstein where he's being asked about his navigator.
A navigator you've never met.
You'll love Annie. She's a red-hot sex pot.
She better be a red-hot navigator.
And we get this dumb shit.
No more questions.
Like, my favorite part of that scene is when the doctor just comes out and just goes,
No more questions.
no more questions. Just fucking...
I love that there's a pause.
Yeah.
Like nobody's coming after him and he's like no
stopping
more
nothing.
questions.
Yeah.
I love how like Frankenstein is walking out there and it's like he's tripping because he's like waving away demons or something. Like there's no one there and he's just like back. Like he can't see.
He's just walking blindfolded into the fucking mist. And this doctor who's blocking no one's just like, I'm so proud of my work. No more questions.
No more questions. The authority that he had with it. Okay, so now we get to Nero.
Hero Lottigan never has finished the Transcontinental, but 3 big wins in the provinces this season.
The most useless character of the film.
Means Nero's not fiddling around.
Sit still, Cleopatra, and stop blocking me. My fans want to see me.
Whose navigator just hates him for some reason, and I swear to you, I think he looks just like the homeless man's version of like a Shrek cosplay.
I can see that, but his whole character just reminds me of something that rhymes with the word baggot.
You're a funny man.
Thank you. So now we get our first look at Frankenstein's face, and it's just fucking hilarious. like I love the awkward pause
Annie Smith.
with his mouth just agape just a little bit.
Check out the car.
Yeah.
I have the route maps right here.
I will check them.
So we get that little freeze frame, and it's just fucking gross. It's like they really decided.
It looks like they rubbed poison ivy on his lips.
Yeah. But it's also like, why is your mouth open, sir? Like, I've seen better behaved special needs classrooms. Like,
I'm trained as a nurse.
I don't need a nurse.
And so they kind of do the same shit again, and it's just so fucking funny to look at. Like,
You do.
look at that
And
shit.
I'm very good at what I do.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah. Now we get introduced to Machine Gun Joe, who is
Here he comes, Machine Gun Joe. Loved by thousands, hated by millions.
played by Rocky
Oh,
Balboa.
that's Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I said that. Rocky Balboa. And so, yeah, his lines are awesome. He's loved by thousands, hated by millions.
Loved by thousands. That was a clever line.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So
they know what they're
get it.
doing sometimes. Yeah, and so Joe Turbo or whatever decides to light up all of the Frankenstein fans.
Frankenstein fans down.
Lousy sons of bitches.
Frankenstein?
Give it to them, Joe.
What Frankenstein? I'll give
And it's chef's kiss.
The testosterone, let it flow through you, Rocky Balboa.
Frankenstein, ripped up, wiped out, battered, shattered, creamed and reamed. A dancer on the brink of death.
So now we get Frankenstein's auto intro.
Arm in 99, with half a face and half a chest, and all the guts in the world, he's back. God only knows what he looks like under that mask.
Now, after this, we're introduced to Mr. President.
Now, we take you to the Summer Palace and Mr. President.
It just looks like he got transported to like a Doom dimension. Like,
Yeah, he just gets in this ethereal dimension for some reason. It's like, what the actual fuck is this?
Yeah, it's like something out of a video game.
My children, whom I love so dearly, it has been my duty in the long and difficult years since the world crash of '79 to a new time of plenty in the fertile field of minority privilege. And now, my children, the drivers are ready, the world is waiting.
So anyways, for some weird reason, at the end of his speech, he gets like this magic power to start the race. So he just lifts his hand up and he gets this fucking green light. Like it's his gift to the world.
Here you are, peasants.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like it was at this scene where I was like, what are the political takes that the writers think they're having here? Like, it's like the end of the hippie movement, so...
Yeah, that's strange.
It just doesn't really make a lot of sense for them to be talking so political, almost. I'm just more confused about why it's like, oh, there's Nazis. That was important.
They were like, bring them back.
Yeah.
Come on.
The sexual revolution. You don't understand. We just have to have people.
They need
to be
encore.
trying to fuck. Yeah. They need to get it in.
Once again, the race is underway, with 12-hour pit stops scheduled at St. Louis and Albuquerque, home of the American Indian Museum. At this very moment, the cars are howling through the streets of Manhattan, but no points have been scored as yet.
Anyways, so we're introduced to the Resistance, and they are just horribly organized. For some reason, they're like arguing over their need to kill Frankenstein because he's a friend of the president.
I have made the United Provinces of America the greatest power in the known universe. I have also given you the most popular sporting event in the history of mankind. The Transcontinental Road Race, which upholds the American tradition of no holds barred.
What?
It's time for action.
It is not a time for violence.
Mrs. Payne, I love Annie as much as you do. But she's no match for Frankenstein. And we can't risk letting him get away. Frankenstein is the biggest target in the world and a personal friend of Mr. President's.
That, Lieutenant Fury, is exactly why they'll call off the race. To save his life.
I didn't understand it at all. And like they defend it because they're like, that's why the president would call off the race.
It also doesn't make sense that like the leader of the Resistance is like, no, we shouldn't resort to violence. But their whole plan is violence.
Don't you know about my face?
I've heard stories.
Okay, so then we get this pointless scene. Like, he's supposed to be this, like, cut together monster of, like, pieces of a human that are, like, he's just been scrapped together. Like, he's been blown to bits over and over, and they've just piled him back together and repaired him.
I'm held together with patches of plastic and steel plates. It's not a pretty sight. You want to see?
But then they take off his mask and like...
Remember, you're doing this on your own. I take no responsibility.
He's just a dude.
What'd you expect? Another pretty face?
That's it. And they're just like...
Yeah, the music being romantic is just so funny. It's like a fucking Disney character's revealed. So then we get this scene with Joe Turbo to demonstrate the real point of the race, and we get this hilariously bad death scene.
Yeah, it makes you think that this was gratuitous for its time.
All right, and yes, sirree! A clean hit, a perfect hit, and no pain for the target. Too bad the guy was only 38. Just 2 years older, he'd have been worth 3 times the point.
So now we're approaching one of the best scenes or moments in the film. This is the point breakdown.
Oh, I love this.
Women are still worth 10 points more than men in all age brackets, but teenagers now rack up 40 points, and toddlers under 12 now rate a big 70 points. The big score, anyone, any sex, over 75 years old, has been upped to 100 points.
Yeah, this is just a beautiful scene because they don't hold back that anyone is a target out there, and that's the point of this film. It's just such a good callback to the Pope dude because it's just so damn Funny. I don't know. I think a baby should be ranked higher than the elderly. The elderly is like an easy target. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that. A baby you can throw.
A baby, hear me out, fits well underneath most vehicles.
No.
So you have to get the tires.
No, you can throw a baby like 40 yards.
Roethlisberger has time, throws to the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Holmes.
Unbelievable!
Incredible!
You can punt a baby.
Absolutely. But it's harder to hit one with a car. I got you there. That's why I'm saying you got to hit it with the tires. It's the key. If it doesn't hit wheel, it ain't gonna squeal.
As always, how fast you move determines how long you live.
Oh my god. Okay, then we get the scene that's really just filler. Toro master? What is a matador? A matador. He's just being a matador for the bull-horned car. And it plays out exactly like you'd imagine.
I think the death sounds the same.
Beautiful kill. A neat kill. No calamities for Jane today. No, sir.
Now, personally, this is my favorite scene of the movie.
Euthanasia Day at the geriatrics hospital. They do it every year.
So you're just like expecting him to kill all these old geriatric fucks. but the movie subverts expectations in a way that it just like, you know, does so well on occasion here, and he just winds up killing all these hospital workers. Why didn't he just kill them? Isn't he this previous champion they keep claiming?
And they're like out there wanting to die.
Yeah.
They're like, yes, finally. And
they're just chilling, waiting for death.
They're literally laying there like, yes, finally I can be sacrificed to Frankenstein. And then he veers off and kills their like nurses and doctors, and they're like, oh, now it's going to be a slow, painful death over months with no one to help administer morphine or whatever.
Frankenstein must have decided it was their turn.
Which only goes to show that even the fearsome Frankenstein has a 100% red-blooded American sense of humor.
Okay, now we cut back to the Resistance, and we just get a simple scene that tells you all that you need to
from your
know.
attire that your sabotage operations are being carried out despite my wishes.
Mrs. Payne, we're set to hit him with everything we've got.
So now Nero needs him some points.
Everyone scored before us. You should have gone after that Boy Scout camp like I told you.
I tried a goddamn Boy Scout camp. You know how fast those Boy Scouts move?
And this was the scene that just had us fucking rolling laughing. I mean, this is perfection.
Especially the Boy Scouts.
If they scatter, go for the baby and the mother. Go for the baby! The baby!
Yeah.
Have you seen those kids run?
You don't understand how fast they are, Margaret.
Cut back to the Resistance speech after killing Nero, and we get the speech from What's-Her-Face Payne?
And it's also played for the drivers, so we get the Nazi chick all spooked.
What the hell was that?
I have no information.
Is this race still on?
I have no information.
Well, what do you think?
About what?
About that speech.
Yeah, so now we fast forward to where the Resistance has actually like set up this roadblock, and it just fails completely.
Like, I don't know if the director thought this section through. Like, did they get the direction wrong? Because they, like, they're just on the wrong side of this blockade entirely. You know where the car's coming from. What? How do you mess that up?
I don't know. It didn't make any sense watching it, and so I was really kind of laughing my ass off at the fact that the car comes from behind. Like, how does this road work then? Or did they just
like a Charlie Chaplin thing?
Did they get turned around? Like, are they that bad with direction?
Oh, I don't know.
Does the Resistance just have like fetal alcohol syndrome? So this was another personal favorite death scene, and it's just this coworker pissed that his friend is standing on the rope, so he yanks him up.
Come on over and hold the ladder.
And now... Okay, so now Joe stumbles on this whole situation, and he's just pissed that the banner has Frankenstein on it, really. And his navigator is like, kill the fucker. And so then Joe asks this guy that just got the rope yanked on him if he should spare this dude, and he's just like,
Is that fair? Yeah! Hey, should I let him go? Fair's always right.
hell no, fuck that guy. And he's like, gotta do it for the fans.
I fucking love it. Thumbs down on this man. It's like, yeah, he deserves death. So now we get the obligatory pervy scene in all of these bad movies with naked people for no reason. Essentially, this is like a checkpoint / lap counter for some reason, where all the drivers and navigators are unwinding for the night with massages and other crap.
Yeah, they thinly veiled this scene to just pass along the story about how the government wants the rebel situation handled. Like, it's just exposition.
Yeah.
Is receiving a well-deserved rub-down. Tell me, Tilly darling, what can we expect from you when the cars go back on the road?
You can expect a victory by a member of the master race, a woman.
Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. So, for those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do, do you?
Then we get this scene where Frankenstein meets this young girl for some reason.
What do you want?
My name is Laurie, Mr. Frankenstein.
And he thinks she's, like, trying to fuck him.
From over 100 girls.
You offer me your body? Is that it? You want to make love to me because I drive the monster and wear this costume?
No, Mr. Frankenstein. But that wouldn't be fair to your navigator.
And this just implies that Frankenstein is just having pussy thrown at him constantly.
An integral part of the story. Like, she basically just says that she wouldn't steal him from his navigator for some reason. Like, it's such an honor that she earned it.
Yeah, I love the implication that the navigator role is, like, trained for years to sex him up. Like, not only
you were trained for years to suck dick for this role.
Yeah, you were meant for roadhead, bitch.
Yeah.
And it's like, not only are you a backseat driver across the country, which is unrealistic, but the writers of this movie just give too much credit.
Yeah, and like, Joe Viterbo's navigator, like, she just gets treated like shit.
What is that? Sit down and eat.
So now we get this funny but creepy scene with Frankenstein where his navigator is commenting on his body and she's like talking about it's all torn up and oh this and oh that. But this scene is fucking beautiful just for the ending, because the best part is when he just like has this romancing music and goes,
Do you like to dance?
and I fucking love it, like that creepy ass fucking mask. But
Look
it's
at the mask whenever he turns.
Mm-hmm.
That shit killed me.
And keep in mind, like the whole beginning of that scene is just like all sexual, like tension, and it's just like, you want to fuck me with the mask on, sweetheart?
And I love, this is like the part of the movie where you realize that they just totally gave up on the whole, like, he's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He's just a guy.
I think they just like ran out of budget for makeup.
Probably.
That might be why his character is what it is.
Yeah.
But also, I found it really, really, really funny that every single scene in this movie just has royalty-free music.
Oh, Mr. President, bless thy children and make them strong.
It's the next morning, we're on lap 2, and you get to see the Pope dude, and he's back at it.
Beloved son, the immortal Frankenstein, who has given so much pleasure to so many.
The hell with Frankenstein. What about Joe Viterbo?
Second day of the race, and we get him to he just spouts nonsense praise on all the still living characters. But whenever we get to Frankenstein, he's just swooning over this dude.
And in classic form, Joe Cool is just sitting there boiling with fucking hatred that the people don't like him as much.
Which is just comical considering that he literally did a mass shooting at the beginning to the fans. Frankenstein drops his glove clearly on purpose. And this crowd of people somehow don't notice at all.
Yeah, at this point in the movie, they're sabotaging Joe by sending him down this different route. And in order for him to, like, take the route, they have to give him the lead on purpose. And so Frankenstein does this U-turn.
Just south of here. Where's he going? What's he doing?
Hey, what are you doing? Where are we going?
I dropped my glove.
Just to fucking kill this Pope bastard. And I'm pretty sure it's an identical scream to the other two fucking deaths.
Yeah, you tell us.
Ladies and gentlemen, by a bizarre accident, Frankenstein has killed our cherished colleague, the deacon of the bipartisan party.
So at this point in the film, Frankenstein killing the Pope, for some fucking reason, is controversial.
It's my obligation as a national hero.
Frankenstein's score is now... Does that score count, Harold?
Which is so fucking funny.
Junior, and one that may set a significant precedent. Can a racer score a race official?
Because this is a universe with euthanasia by car.
Yeah, they all accept it.
Yeah.
Not to mention the targeting of babies, but it's like a religious race figure, and he's a protected class. Like, either way, the sportscaster finds out his score has been approved for ending the race, Pope.
Frankenstein's score has been approved for 50 points. The confirmation has just been handed to me. Why, you know what that means, Junior? That means that the race officials from coast to coast will be falling like flies.
Yeah, I love that the announcer dude is so excited for that too. like, just the whole, they're dropping like fly.
Yeah.
Now the ball pops free. Scramble for the ball inside the 5. Who's got it?
But they never bring up like how it actually affects the race. Like, if you reach the end, you win. So it's not about the most points, but it doesn't sound like basically anyone reaches the end. So why do the points even matter? Could you just get points and then just not finish the race and you could still win? What? I don't get it.
I think it was just again a badly veiled attempt by the writers or the director at political takes on violence. Because again, it's just like killing people is bad, guys.
Yeah, like the whole
like a little finger wag at the audience or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the whole movie is filled with weird messages. Like the president being in some second dimension was funny, but the hard part is determining if it's accidentally genius or if it's just so bad that it's actually good.
I'm still leaning towards a little bit of both, but more so bad actually good.
I think so. I think I agree with you there, yeah.
Yeah, so moving on. So we get what I thought was supposed to be an emotional moment of the movie. Like, you're supposed to feel sad.
Yeah.
Where the girl from earlier who's like, "Are you offering me your body?" is just like standing in the road. So he just kills her. Duh, I guess.
But then we just get this.
Show me she loves me.
Yeah, really? She did it to show me she loves me.
It makes me question the movie. Whenever you watch this, it's like, what? Okay, so moving on, we get what I would call funny filler. It's these three guys that They probably filmed before they actually had a story because, like, they aren't part of the Resistance.
Yeah, they don't serve a purpose in the movie other than, like, a scene with antagonists with crappy 70s porn guitar played over the introduction.
Yeah, and not only are their motivations just completely unclear, but they just open this manhole cover so that they can escape like Mario for some reason.
Yeah, but then this fucking douchebag friend closes the cover and kills his other friend. But hey, don't worry, they get theirs.
But I just want to bring up again that all of these deaths ultimately meaningless. The point of the system doesn't really serve a purpose.
Yeah, it's just a plot device to say, like, hey, they're gonna kill people for some reason.
Yeah, but even if that's the case, they should be on major highways for like 95% of these drives. Like, are the directors expecting me to believe that these highways are not only unpopulated by cars during the race, but that like people are just wandering onto them? Like everyone knows that the race is going on, and they're like, all right, everyone in the country start roaming the highways.
Yeah, it makes no sense, and I'm right there with you, especially because you just have, like, these three random fucks who are just like, what are they trying to prank the race by just hopping in front of this car? Like, they're playing chicken with cars that are meant to kill you?
Yeah.
They're rewarded to do so, and
it doesn't make any logical sense.
And again, in this scene, like, maybe you, the viewer, think we're, like, bullshitting you or something, but this is the full context for the scene. They're not in the Resistance. There's no reason for this scene to occur. It's just throw more deaths in somehow.
They're just fucking around.
Yeah, and I kind of like it. I don't like it.
What's our estimated time of arrival in Albuquerque?
Well, I'm not sure.
Okay, so now we get a scene where the rebels are going to ambush Frankenstein and replace him with another Frankenstein.
Literally all I could think watching this was, sir, there's been a second Gimp.
Sorry, brother.
like I just watched it. I was like, oh my god, why the fuck was this the plan?
If that's the best damage
It's so dumb. It's just so dumb.
One thing I can't.
So of course he kills him, and now we get back to the story of Joe Cool.
Yeah, at this point in time, Joe has been seen off course by the road that we mentioned earlier. Now keep in mind, just for context in this competition, he gets sent off course by that scene where they're just getting naked massages again, and he gets sent off by Frankenstein's navigator.
So I told him to go down 54 through the Cimarron Valley.
54 is a dead end. Means nowhere.
That's right. And if Joe takes it, he's sunk.
It's just like, why?
So getting sent off course by a competitor's navigator that you shouldn't be listening to, it's like, the only reason I thought was that he thinks she's hot, and she tells him where to go, but again, they're just getting random massages. Like, what was his incentive to believe that she would assist him in winning?
Yeah.
And I'm still stuck on why he would even believe her. She's the enemy. She's literally his worst enemy.
Yeah.
Just either dumb writing, or we're really supposed to believe that Rocky Balboa is this dumb. And either way...
Jesus H. Christ! I'll kill that man! What is it? Check your face!
We get a scene that he's just pissed off that he's off course.
Hey, Cornball, what's the fastest way through here?
I've seen you before. I'm one of your greatest fans. You know that? I follow all of the races. I got pictures of you all over the outhouse. I named my favorite dog after you, Mr. Frankenstein.
So, of course, based off of Joe Cool's character, how do you think he's going to react? Will he A, turn around and act like nothing happened. B, shoot the man and then turn around in anger at his slight. Or C, give up on the race.
Did.
Ding, 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 ding. That's right. If you guessed, take a race car with guns and a knife on it off-roading and into a fucking river. It's in the exact opposite direction of where he's trying to go. You've won $5 billion. Please collect this at your earliest convenience, February 30th from Elon Musk.
Thank you, Elon Musk, for sponsoring this giveaway. This was just like comically bad. Like, if he gets stuck, what's he gonna do? Just call AAA?
No, Jake from State Farm. Now moving on, we get out of context scene again.
Come on, Pete, honey, you gonna take all day with that? I want to get on the road, make a few more scores. My bloodlust is fading.
And for the record, again, this isn't my fault for cutting this weird at all. It's just really this bad of a movie. It just sort of happens like that. There's no context, there's no build-up for anything. It doesn't show the cars coming or how they broke down. It just shows this.
And so the Nazi lady just kills that chick's boy toy or whatever, and a chase ensues.
Mach schnell, meine kleine Buzzball. That's good. 3, 1, 2.
I love that the rebels are identifiable as hell, actually. Like in Star Wars, they have those weird little fucking penis helmets. But in this, they're all just wearing head-to-toe denim.
Yeah, so this is their ambush, and they set up a detour that's really just like an actual Looney Tunes trap.
Yeah, but this Looney Tunes ass trap, somehow she falls for it.
And watching this, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But okay.
I just love seeing her fall through this cliff, but it's like... It's like...
How did that trick you at all?
It's a cliff. You would see the outline of this fucking cardboard cutout. And
So
she's
I'm
like, nope, I'm going straight into it.
Yeah. What the fuck? Okay. 1, hilarious. 2, did they seriously expect us to believe that was remotely a good plan? Like...
A special bulletin...
It's clearly a cardboard cutout.
She literally just drives off that fucking cliff. Like, benefit of the doubt, maybe she's going too fast as soon as she turned for the detour. But she has her eyes wide open as soon as she sees the crash through the cardboard cutout. So no, she didn't know it was a trap.
It's like coming home after a long day of work and you have to take a shit. And you go into the bathroom, see that the toilet lid is up, and sit in the bowl to take a shit. That's what it's like to me.
Yeah.
And I shall remember her forever, howling down that freeway in the sky, knocking over the angels.
The next scene is just this argument between all of the drivers. One of them is the race organizers.
Some kind of protection.
You should have given us an escort right after Nero got it.
Come on, Joe'd score any escort, wouldn't you,
Hey, you want to zip your lip, Myra? Huh?
And essentially he's just guiding them through public relations, just saying what it is that he wants them to say when it comes to the deaths at the hands of the resistance.
If you ask me, you're all just making excuses for poor driving.
Poor driving?
And again, for time's sake, we're just going to skip over a lot of the next 15 minutes or so of the movie. It's an hour and 20-minute movie, so it's actually a lot, but again, it is all filler.
Yeah.
I've been driving for 10 years. Nobody talks to me like this. You know you're an idiot. You know that?
It's all on account of the rebels.
Who mentioned anything about rebels?
But it does have some hilarious Sylvester Stallone acting. But towards the end of this argument scene, Frankenstein is greeted by some kind of secret police force.
Questions. Come on, Annie.
Alone, if you don't mind.
And interrogated by them about his navigator, the granddaughter of the resistance leader. And of course he protects her for absolutely no fucking reason at all.
Frankenstein. Did you take that particular road on your own initiative or on the advice of your navigator?
On my own initiative.
And just goes about his business.
And after this, Turbo Joe confronts Frankenstein's navigator for sending him off course.
All's fair in love and war?
And it's pretty ridiculous. kind of obvious that he shouldn't have ever listened to her. Like, it's his own mistake.
It's about a minute and a half.
Hey, Frankie, I'm glad you came here. I caught your navigator trying to screw around with the cars, so I thought I'd come out.
But this results in a fist fight with Frankenstein. And with the conclusion of the fight, we get back to your regularly scheduled garbage points of the movie.
So moving on, we get a classic Turbo Joe moment, where after getting smacked around...
You get a load of that face?
Yeah, I wonder if somebody got points for that eye.
His pit crew's just sitting there making fun of him, and as always, he handles it with pure class and professionalism.
His own pit crew.
You lousy sons of bitches!
Funny man from Chicago has scored his own mechanics for
And so we
40
get this
points.
response to Joe's beat to hell face.
You'll find it first. You know, Myra, some people might think you're cute. But me, I think you're one very large baked potato.
I think you're one big baked potato.
I dream of potatoes. I have potato blood in my veins. My life, it's potato.
And I'm like, I fucking love it. He's the only one who's talking shit to the navigator. The other one's trying to fuck this other lady's navigator. One Aryan chick is like, my little sweetheart, don't touch him.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the only bad dynamic. And he's like, don't touch my hoe.
You know, Junior, when Machine Gun Joe was just a little boy in Chicago, he had a pet snake that he used to love to ride over with his tricycle.
So we fast forward to the Resistance. It isn't very far ahead, but they set up this mine and ambush Horny Jane.
You know what I just realized? I think that the intention behind her car having the cow horns was because her whole character is being a sexual deviant.
You're probably right. That's right up there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the whole like little bullshit artsy deal. Mm-hmm. So they ambush Horny Janie and attack her on these motorcycles. And we get this scene that I don't know if it was meant to be suspenseful because this movie is from 1975. So I don't know if they had the same level of irony here, because this scene just came off as hilariously fucking sexist, because the only reason this bitch dies is because she fucks up a 3-point turn. And it's just fucking gold.
I loved it. This is a very grounded choice. It's nice to see realism in an absurdist movie.
Now at this point in the film, we cut back to Frankenstein, where he is suddenly motivated by, I don't know, the fucking force or something to drug his treasonous navigator. Again, no context for this roofie.
Yeah, at all. This is a 1975 story progression. He roofies this hoe for the plot.
I love the fake swing too. Then she just passes out.
I feel like I'm gonna pass out.
Look at that.
As the ambush starts, like, look at that silly fucking RC plane prop.
Please stop the car.
Sorry. We're in a race.
Hey yo, is that a fucking third gimp? It fucking is. What the fuck?
My favorite part here is that the guy's car flips over for absolutely no reason. Like, he follows the exact same path, but he literally, on his own volition, steers into the fucking hill, and it just explodes for some reason.
Yeah, that gimp was identified as Timothy McVeigh.
I don't get that joke.
The domestic terrorist? Oklahoma City bombing? FBI building?
I'm taught not to remember terrorists. Their names should be lost to the wind. I'm a goddamn patriot.
I don't know about that.
Frankenstein has just been attacked by the French Air Force, and he's whipped their derrieres. His point total for this one will be something astronomical.
Now, this is that scene where they have that bullshit fucking, like, romance music.
I slipped you a 30-minute sleep X. Didn't want you doing something back there we would both regret, but I can't let anything stop.
Like where she's like,
They didn't expect you to give up easily. They were prepared for whatever happened. Oh my God, you've been hit.
I'll make it.
Wow, what the fuck?
yeah,
This is so dumb.
I don't know. I don't know why they just like let her jerk him off the road, like just swerve him.
It makes no sense.
Like he knows she's a terrorist
Yeah.
in this film, but he's cool with it. But it's never explained.
It's
why
like he's
cool
trying
with
to pull her the whole movie. Like the movie is somehow some romance fantasy for whoever wrote this.
it. Yeah, but it's also kind of like explain that the whole point of her character is to fuck him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to do this at all. He already has her.
Yeah.
She's literally his property. Like he could kill her and get points.
Yeah.
And pretty much throughout the whole movie, it's put on the viewer. The navigator doesn't do shit. Like they're hyped, but they don't really do anything.
They really don't. They're like, take this turn, you'll save 5 minutes. And it's like,
yeah, they're like, not really. I won't save 5 minutes. I'm not taking your advice.
They all get to the checkpoints at the same days.
Yeah,
They're
so
all
it's like
there.
it's not even really a race until the
Yeah.
last
exactly
third.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How can you possibly expect
So we get that
me to
stupid
help
fucking line.
You're my navigator.
You're the only one who
You're my
knows
navigator.
where you're going.
This whole movie, neither of them have had a reason or real desire to trust each other.
I think that you're underestimating the power that Frankenstein holds with that romantic dance request.
Do you like to dance?
What about was winning the race?
Sure. Only the winner of the race is to shake hands.
Fucking hand grenade.
Is that a grenade?
A hand grenade. That
Seriously?
handshake is all I live
That's
for.
that's it.
He's
long as I can
hand grenade.
But I'm like, this is the plan. This was what the whole movie led up to.
It's my life's work.
My whole life has been leading to this hand grenade.
But
no more questions about the
that guy's my favorite fucking character.
No more questions.
But I still am like so annoyed because throughout the rest of the movie, they're like, he's not really actually Frankenstein. He's just a normal guy. But this is the one scene in the entire film where it's like, actually, this one part of his body isn't real. And it's a fucking grenade. And it's like...
It's not a grenade. It's a hand grenade.
But, okay, so only the winner shakes hands with the president, right? But earlier in the film, it's been explained to us, the audience, that he's
already friends. Why doesn't he just shake his hand in a casual encounter?
But he's also won the race multiple times before.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's my life's work. Motherfucker, are you just forgetting?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
So we're just supposed to gloss over the fact that his life's work is to kill the president, but he's been partying with the whole guy. Like, did he just forget to do the deed?
And now, dear viewer, we are back to the race. Things are getting heated, and you know it's serious because the porn guitar has returned.
Hold the fuck up. Are you shitting me that Joe Turbo has had this 007 oil slick gadget the whole fucking time and didn't use it? Like, throughout the whole movie, he doesn't even use the fucking headlight guns.
Yeah, at all.
What?
Ever.
This dude sucks.
Okay, in their infinite wisdom, they decide to very quickly throw the hand grenade plan out the window and use it now.
Yeah, you might be asking yourself, wait, didn't they just make this whole deal about shaking hands with the president with this grenade to kill him? Isn't the hand grenade an integral part of the story, as we've seen so far? Isn't the whole plot predicated on his ability to kill the president? Nope. Throw all that shit out of the window less than 5 minutes later in the movie because we need this grenade to kill Joe, despite him being clearly a less competent driver and a moronic character. He poses the biggest threat to Frankenstein as we know it.
Yeah, so they kill Joe, Frankenstein really allowed the responsibility of his life's work to fall on the girl who has failed at every attempt to do anything in this movie except manipulate Sylvester Stallone's character with the IQ of a seahorse.
That engine still in perfect tune. Here he is, the one and only three-time winner and sole survivor of the 20th
And this makes
annual
Frankenstein the default winner because there are no other contestants alive.
They have crippled our once great economy and wrecked our telephone system. To lead you in this war against the French, which I now decree.
I gotta say, the funniest part to me here in this scene isn't that this bitch gets shot, but that the head of the fucking resistance, the one who needs to kill the president, shoots Frankenstein instead of the fucking president.
Yeah, now that I think about it, her character had that broadcast of her face put out to everyone watching the race. Are we really just glossing over the fact that there would be no chance that she's in the audience in this dystopian world? Like, no one was like, oh, I literally just saw you on TV.
Yeah, this is where the whole movie falls apart for that argument where it's like, is it genius or is it so bad it's good? Because this is where it's like, fuck it. Do that.
The movie never made sense at any point.
Yeah, it's just like, she's gonna kill him with that baby Swiss Army knife. I mean, it's so you'd have better luck with a pencil.
Literally,
your teeth, her fingernails.
Excuse me. She'd have a better chance of killing him if she tried to clothesline him, like unsuccessfully,
or just fucking push him off the balcony.
Exactly.
There's a million things.
Yeah,
but instead, her dumbass grandma is like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna kill the president. My life's work. I'm gonna kill Frankenstein. He took out 2 other gimps and this RC plane of mine.
Yeah. Okay, so it turns out that Frankenstein was naked and hiding in his car.
Frankenstein.
He kills the president, and all of a sudden, the crowd is cheering him on. What is going on with this movie?
Mr. and Mrs. President Frankenstein, dear.
He's the president? Like, what kind of tribal shit is this?
Ignore it, Frank. That's just a bunch of liberal bullshit.
And move the seat of government back to New Los Angeles. The country has been governed
So,
long enough.
what is his first act as president, you might be asking yourself? Well, apparently it's a wedding, and I guess at this wedding, they decide to make Thomasina Paine, the leader of the resistance, the new head of security for the United States.
Minister for Domestic Security.
And I plan to deal very harshly with rebels. Anybody who is unhappy with happiness can...
And she plans to deal very harshly with rebels? Like, this is like if we took... It's like if we took Osama bin Laden and just made him like a 5-star general. Like, the ending makes less sense than...
The race is
It doesn't make any sense.
That's right.
We feel that the country...
I butchered that, but it really doesn't make any sense.
No, I know. But at least we wrap up this movie with one of the best scenes.
Popularity depended entirely on violence?
Stop annoying Mr. President with impertinent questions, Junior.
It's the race, man. President Frankenstein, you can't call off the race.
I do love that scene.
Violence! Violence!
Junior?
Any final thoughts on this film, man? I mean, like...
Way of life. Sure, it's violent, but that's the way we love it. Violent, violent, violent. And that's why we love you.
Frank, do we have to listen to this?
Be violent.
No.
You wouldn't have volleyed, no man.
I thought it was absolutely like this weird combination of kind of like some motherfucker in the writing room knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh, yeah.
And then someone else was like,
was first
really
developed
taking it
in
overly
2 million
seriously.
BC
This is one of those
by the
movies where
Australopithecine.
if I had to classify it to somebody, I would tell them that 2/3 of this movie is like solid gold comedy. Like somebody writing it knew exactly what they were doing and it was funny. And then 1/3 of the people like were too high to make it work because it makes no fucking sense. Like the scene where they're setting up that blockade and it's just in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
It's like, if that's supposed to be slapstick, it's kind of funny, but it's like, doesn't really make sense. The whole, like, the fact that Frankenstein is actually just a normal dude, it's like, it makes it feel like some guy just wrote this script with a fantasy of being this Frankenstein character and just boning navigators. It's like an anime guy.
But then sending Joe Turbo off on a different like route, and it's like, wait, why is he listening to this chick? And then on top of that, the navigator that he has is just unbothered. Like, it really just went to show that the navigator role was just an afterthought.
Yeah, it's just there for comedy because, like, yeah, the navigators don't really do anything. The race, like, doesn't actually make any sense.
And we do kind of glance over a couple, like, little things in this movie. Like, particularly the, some of the reporters in the film have their own little storyline, but it's not important or integral. It's literally just her being like,
Dear friends of mine, a dear friend of mine, dear friends of mine, a dear friend of mine, a dear friend of mine,
Dear friend of mine, you have won a high-style 2-room apartment in Acapulco.
one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, bitch. Yeah. But watching this film, like, was just this weird mix of dread combined with just my sides hurting from the ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Go for the baby! Go for the baby!
Yeah. There are some scenes where it's like, especially the scoring where he's breaking down the points. Yeah. That shit's like, if that's not already a meme, it should be. Like, that's hilarious.
I don't think anything, even though it might be to you viewers, like, stupid or whatever, I don't care. My favorite bit is no more questions. That's it. And it's like, really? Okay. It's like, for me, it comes down to either that or the scene where he's just like, euthanasia day at the geriatric hospital.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Just mental flashbang of like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Because going into this movie, we had no prior knowledge of like what it was going to be about.
At all.
Yeah.
It was fun, though. It was a fun movie.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was going to be more like car-on-car violence.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like if they made Twisted Metal for the 70s.
Yeah.
And it was not. It was more like... It's like if It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia combined with Mario Kart.
I can kind of see that.
Because, like, it's like darkly comedic, but also just like very goofy in almost a childish way.
Anyway, thank you guys for your viewership. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any feedback, please absolutely let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, any recommendations on movies, you want to talk about movies, I will debate you, and one of us will kill ourselves in the end.
One of us?
Me or whoever the commenter is. One of us will die at their own hands.
So it's not you or me, it's...
No.
A battle
I will debate the viewers to their own demise.
It's a battle I'll ultimately lose. Before you can make a reply comment, I'll be fucking dead. Yeah, any recommendations you guys have? Any recommendations for us for what we should watch and roast next are always appreciated.
Okay, I love you. 我愛上了你，請你莫逃避，維護你，原諒你，拋開貪親怕死，一切為咗。